has been going on for 3 months with no crashes. A terror campaign run by Venusians would have started with a crash just to get the public's attention, followed up with a news conference, a series of 30-second video ads, and a web page. Now that's terrorism. This protracted terrorism is so human.
Then who?
Your drinks.
Thanks. Put them... Thank you. Now, about...
A Venini should be drunk before it has had a chance to aerate.
Should we be drinking with this guy, Rory?
Pick any drink you wish. I could hardly have poisoned all 3.
Of course. Come on, Skip, be sociable. You say a human is behind her. Do you know who?
I will take you to him.
Hey, that's really tangy. What did you call this?
A Venini, a mix of Venusian and Terran liqueurs. Rather bland, but relaxing.
So you can identify the human who's behind the extortion plot?
I said I would take you to him. What part didn't you understand?
Is there any alcohol in this Venini?
Considerable. But since alcohol does not affect the Venusian metabolism, the only real kick comes from the Nepenthal.
Nepenthal?
Yes, some of your Earth alkaloids produce a pleasant buzz. Oh dear, asleep already? These 2 are a cheap date. Garçon! Over here. 2.
Over here.
No. To go.
Ow, my head!
Ah, you're awake. Excellent timing, for once.
Where are we, Pearl?
An hour or 2, or 3, by amphibian rocket from Venusberg. Then another few hours by boat. We are approaching the estate of my employer.
Who is the human behind the extortion plot? You took our money and betrayed us.
I said I would take you to the mastermind behind the terror campaign, and she wished me to bring you to her. If I'm paid by both sides for a mutually agreed upon outcome, where is the conflict in that?
You didn't tell us you were working for a terrorist.
Did you ask?
Rory, look! It's an island with grass and trees. It's like a little piece of Earth.
In the middle of a Venusian swamp? And buildings on it. A French chateau?
If you will regard the pavilion to the left of the main building, you will see my employer at her afternoon philosophical exercises.
Philosophical exercises?
A tonic for the mind and soul, which she practices every afternoon at this time. See? Here she walks against the winds of adversity. Now she presses against the glass wall of conformity. And finally, she's crushed by the shrinking box of fate.
Pearl, has your mistress ever explained these exercises to you?
No, she's a human of few words. Come along. The mistress comes to meet us. A signal honor.
Hello, this must be Marshal Rammer and Cadet Sagan. Welcome to L'Île de Marceau, gentlemen.
Hi.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Dr. René Marceau, a geneticist, not a medical doctor, I'm afraid. You will not take my hand, Marshal?
Very few people on Earth would take your hand, Dr. Marceau. That's why you're on Venus.
Oh, wow! You mean she's that, Dr. Marceau?
Of the giant mutant squid snail horror of 1978.
A trivial imbalance of gross hormones in the poor creature.
They're still wiping up slime in Marseille, Marceau.
I'm sorry you have chosen to be tiresome about this. I had some hopes we could come to, an understanding. Hola, too bad. It's quite close to sunset. We'll have to put you up overnight.
And then you'll let us go.
No. Then we throw you to the creatures of the swamp. But we need daylight for that.
The swamp creatures are dormant at night? A useful thing to know.
Mais non, if anything, the night feeders are more ferocious. But Pearl has pre-sold the video rights to your deaths, and we will need daylight to capture all the details. As his employer, I get 10%.
You've gone native, Marceau.
Say what you will. Come along, and do keep to the paved path. Do not walk on the grass.
I've been meaning to ask about that, Dr. Marceau. I haven't seen a lawn anywhere else on Venus.
There are no lawns on Venus, Skip. It's all swamp. This is one of your genetic creations, isn't it, Marceau?
I am so pleased you recognized it. Yes, it is a symbiote. The top cover of vegetation is fescue, lightly mutated. Of course, it needs support atop the swamp muck. The underlying foundation is a web of animal tissue which feeds off small organisms in the swamp.
Hey, a web? My lord, Marceau, it isn't. Mutant squid snail?
Oui, that is its basis.
Wasn't the sliming of Paris enough for you? Have you gone mad, Marceau?
Who can say? Now, come along, and as I said, keep off the grass. The lawn eats not only whatever swims underneath it, but also whatever falls through the webbing from above. Only I know its sensitive...